Hello and welcome back to Couch Potatoes. You're hanging with Sarah and Jess today. How is it going, Jess?
Everything is good. How are you?
Everything's great. I like that energy.
The weekend.
It's almost the weekend. Yes, these air on Wednesdays, but we record them the Thursday beforehand.
Friday Eve, as we call it.
Friday Eve, yes. And I have tomorrow off from work, so
Lucky. Jazz hands.
jazz hands. Today we're going to be talking about a movie that we recently watched.
Yeah, we dipped into the movies.
Yes, we haven't done a movie in a while, so you brought this up.
I did.
Voicemails for Isabelle.
Yes.
Recently came out within the past few weeks on Netflix.
Probably within the last month. I think I saw it on the top 10, like number 3 or 4 or something. And then I was talking to a bunch of the ladies upstairs, and they were all saying they were going to watch it. So I texted you and I said, I think maybe we should do this one for the potatoes.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
Yes. As you can tell from our little titles, we were very emotional about this movie.
Yes.
Very emotional. So the whole premise, so basically it starts with Jill and her sister Isabelle, or Izzy for short. As children, they have a really close relationship. You can also tell, Izzy is sick.
Yes, she has some sort of... I think they did mention cancer at one point, and then it was like lung transplant at another point.
Yeah. No, I think there's another disease, and I forgot what it's called, but I think it's not cancer, but it's something else.
They said it, what it was?
They did.
Okay.
I don't want to get it wrong, though. So anyway, she's sick, but they have a really close relationship.
Yes.
And I think my favorite, the scene, I don't know what, the song.
Yeah, so the movie opens up as them as two little girls. And they are dancing to Robin's Dancing on My Own. And have you ever heard of this song before this movie?
I had not.
And I knew you were going to say that because when I heard it, I was like, this is such a good song. It's on my workout playlist. It's on my I Need to Feel Better About This Day playlist, my Drive Home playlist. I just think maybe it was a song that was, I don't know when it came out, but I feel like...
I think I looked it up. It was like early 2000s. I looked it up on Spotify because I was like, I need to listen to this whole song now.
Oh, it's so good.
But when they were children, like she was at a dance or something, and the song came on, and she calls Izzy.
Yes.
And they have this like dance routine
to it.
Yeah. That she did from her bed, and she did at the dance.
Yes.
So also, kind of shows she didn't really get the childhood.
Right, because she was sick, so she was home all the time.
Yeah, so this shows them really close. Yes. And then kind of fast forward, they're older.
Yeah, we jumped through a bunch of years.
Yeah.
Like I said, 2010, the first thing that comes up is 2010, them as little kids dancing to Robin's On My Own. And then they jumped to 2012, 2015, it's New Year's Eve. I think they're a little bit older at this point, and Jill decides to go out for a party that night while her family and her sister are home. And then before it hits midnight, she runs all the way home to spend New Year's with her sister and her family to bring in the new year. And then they jump to 2019, which was culinary school. They just kind of show Jill's life at that point. And then all of a sudden it jumps to present day, and Jill is in San Fran working as like an assistant baker.
Yeah.
All she's doing is kumquats.
Yes, she's cutting kumquats.
Have you ever had a kumquat?
No.
It's
a fruit. I thought it was a vegetable, but it's a fruit.
It's a fruit.
Yeah.
So she works for this chef.
Who's played by?
Nick Offerman.
The
only person I knew that was in this movie. I didn't know any of these people.
Yeah, so Jill's played by Zoe Deutsch, I think is how you pronounce it. And then Nick Robinson plays Wes, who's like...
Her love interest.
Basically.
But what I really loved about this was that the chef, played by Nick Offerman, they kept mentioning Top Chef, which is like a big Bravo.
Came in fourth.
Yeah. I love that they just had like the little Bravo like joke inside about it, but he came in fourth. And I think it's like he's pretending to be French. But he's not.
He's not.
At all.
And he's the worst.
Yeah. Like he's speaking in an accent outside to all the people, but once he's inside, he's screaming
at all the bakers and chefs and stuff.
Yes.
Someone we forgot to mention, also working there. Do you know Lucas Gage?
Okay, he is in White Lotus. I remembered him.
He also was in You on Netflix. He was in He was in
loved
I think
You.
the last season of You or the season before. But
yes.
So Lucas Gage's character, awful.
He's terrible.
So Jill's out in San Fran, and in addition to being this assistant baker,
yes,
she's looking for love,
she's
relationships. She's dating,
yes, as we all do.
And there's a scene where she goes on a date with I can't remember the character's name, Lucas Gage's character.
Right.
And it is awful.
Absolutely awful.
Absolutely awful. And he's the worst.
And she winds up hooking up with him.
Yes.
Don't hook up with your coworkers.
Don't hook up with your coworkers. You heard it here first.
It's not going to turn out good. Don't do it.
Don't do it. And then she kind of is like, I don't really think this is working out. And then he is awful to her at work.
Yeah. And they're both going out for the same position.
Yes, because there's a baker position that's open.
Yes.
So.
And there's 3 of them that are like assistants that are just doing like she's de-seating kumquats or something.
That's her whole job.
That's her whole job.
De-seating kumquats. Yeah.
And then there's 3 of them who are fighting to be like the next baker for the head chef baker.
Yeah. So other than that, at some point, when she's doing this, she gets a call from her sister. Her sister's not feeling great, and she's like, I'll come home right away. And the sister's like, no, don't do that.
Right. Because she's going to be home for Thanksgiving in a few weeks.
Yes. She then gets a call from her mom who said, hey, you need to come home right now.
Yes. Didn't know what was happening.
Didn't know what was happening.
Flew from San Fran back to Texas, where her family is.
Goes to the hospital, and the mother's like, your sister didn't make it. And
she's like, what do you mean?
She's like, what do you mean? Like, she's like, take me to her right now.
Yeah.
And it's a very, very emotional scene in the hospital. Very, very emotional scene.
Yes.
That's the whole crux of the story, of the thing.
Her losing her sister.
Her losing her sister.
And then how she's basically coping with losing her sister.
Basically. So we then go back. She then goes back to San Francisco, right? Mm-hmm. And living her life, dating, whatnot.
And grieving.
Grieving, too. And she, her and her sister had this relationship on the phone.
Very close.
Where, they leave voicemails for each other if they didn't answer. And, another part of it is she's also listening back to Izzy's old voicemails that she left her.
Oh.
Yeah. So she's hearing her sister's voice and it's really emotional. And at some point she decides, I'm going to call her and leave her voicemail.
Right. Even though she has passed.
She has passed. Unbeknownst to her, Wes, played by Nick Robinson,
in Texas,
just got a new work phone, and that is her sister's number.
Yeah.
So he sees that she's calling. Of course, doesn't recognize the number, doesn't answer. So Jill just thinks she's leaving voicemail for
in the abyss.
So leaves her voicemail. Wes later listens to the voicemail and is like, she must have the wrong number. But then Izzy keeps calling and he never answers, and she keeps leaving voicemails.
Right.
And this movie also very, emotional. It's very funny. It's also super funny.
Yeah.
Has comedic moments, stuff like that. So
he becomes very invested in her life.
He does.
Like what's happened. I think he even finds her on Instagram.
Yep. Because she says her name and stuff like that.
She gives the clues away as to
who she is. So he finds her on Instagram. She was very invested. And she's still, because a lot of it is she's going on these dates and they're not going well, and she calls and tells her sister about them in the voicemails. So he's very invested in these dates, and she ends up meeting this guy who's like a relationship podcaster,
which we do not need in this world. No. I do not need to listen to a man to tell me how to date. You learn how to date me. I am the prize. You're not the prize here.
You tell him, Jess.
I'm just on my soapbox about that.
Jess.
Stop it.
He's also the worst, as we find out.
Absolute worst.
He's the worst. And there's this part where they go on a date. He comes over, and all of a sudden she's like, "Okay, you have to go," and kind of just abruptly you have to leave.
Yep.
And then she calls her sister immediately to leave a voicemail. And while she's doing that, and just go, very ecstatic, telling about the date. And oh my gosh, he actually walks back in. He's like, "I forgot. He forgot something."
Yeah.
And she gets so embarrassed.
Because he hears what she said to her sister about him, and
on the phone.
At this point, she did not hook up with him because she's like, all right, you got to go.
Yes. However, Wes hears this on the phone.
Creepy Wes.
And he's like, "No, Jill, lock your door." It's really funny. It's really funny. So it's kind of, it's about dating, relationships, grieving. It's about a lot of stuff. So we're going to take our first break, but we'll be right back. You're watching Couch Potatoes. Hello, welcome back to Couch Potatoes. You're hanging with Sarah and Jess. We're talking about voicemails for Isabelle. It's a movie on Netflix. It's very good. It's very emotional, as you can tell.
I highly recommend it for anyone that obviously sucks at dating, which right there with you. And then anyone that's grieving, too. I think that it's such a good movie to watch if you're just, like, upset, if you've lost somebody.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah, no, it was really good. So let's get to the part, we just mentioned the part where she went on the date with the podcaster.
Ugh.
And so after that whole thing, he ends up ghosting her.
Yes.
And what happens is she actually is like looking at his like podcast on like, I don't know, TikTok, Instagram or something. And he goes, ladies, if the man doesn't text you back, he doesn't want to talk to you or he doesn't want a relationship. And she's like,
right.
He doesn't like, yeah.
He doesn't want anything to do with me.
Because he is not texting her at all.
As a typical man, you took her out, you wined and dined her. She said, okay, go, bye. And then he comes back and they wind up hooking up now. And now she's upset.
Yeah.
And so she finds his, whatever they were, TikToks, Reels or whatever, about his relationship advice. And then he is going to do a podcast event in San Fran where she lives. So she calls her sister, the voice, her phone, and tells her sister exactly what's going on and that he was hosting a podcast event and she's going to go and she's going to give him the business. So she goes. And when she leaves that voicemail, obviously West, that's in Texas, listens to the voicemail, decides to basically make a work trip out of it and flies to San Fran to also attend the podcast event and to finally, I guess, meet Jill.
And at this point, Jill has no idea.
None. That someone is listening to her voice.
Who this is? Exactly. Anything.
This is very You've Got Mail. And they keep mentioning it. And I've watched You Got Mail probably a really long time ago, but I read the plot this morning. It's basically copy and paste.
Isn't that how a lot of movies are, though? Because let me tell you, so this movie to me was also kind of predictable. Yeah. Because I knew, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah. They were going to have
We'll talk about that in a second.
Sorry, spoiled it.
So so she goes to the podcasting event. Wes is there, bunch of ladies, and he's like, anyone have a question? And she's like, I do, and then just blasts him.
Blasts Tyler all over the place. Like, doesn't obviously make it known that she dated him or went on a date with him.
You can, from context clues, you can get that.
Right.
And then
she lets him have it.
Yep.
And you could tell his face. He's like, oh no, what did I do? And I was surprised that he didn't even bother to text her back. Or like there was no typical man. So she lets him have it. She just says it all in front of all these people. She walks out. West is in the audience, sees all of this. He's the only man in a sea of women. All of the women are clapping for her. They're so happy for her, and she just walks right out. And then she goes over to her spot where she's been calling her sister, which is a bench that overlooks the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yes. And here is where she sits there, she calls her sister, leaves a voicemail about where she is and that she has this dream that someone would come and sit next to her on the bench.
Right. And
guess who hears that? And guess who goes and sits on the bench?
West.
So, yeah.
For a second, I thought that was a dream. Like, all of a sudden, she says that, and then he popped up on he walks over, sits down, and I was like, wait, is she sleeping now? Like, I thought it was a dream. Just for a second, I was like, this is not real. But no, this man did this.
And at this point, I think even Jill's like, what's going on?
Right.
Because she kind of was like, okay, I'll let you have the bench, and leaves. And then he's like, wait a minute, like, I'm here visiting for work, and blah, blah, can you show me around? And they kind of talk about how they've sworn off dating for the time being, because, his relationship ended.
Yes, he was with a girl, too, while he's, like, getting to know Jill via voicemail.
Yeah. And then that kind of ends. Yep. And so they're both, So they kind of agree, like, okay. She's like, I'll show you around.
But the way he got her, though, was, can you tell me a spot for the best breakfast burrito? And that's what Jill kept saying to Izzy on her voicemails to her, was that there was no place here to get a good breakfast burrito.
I think she was looking for breakfast tacos. So he's like, hey, do you know where to get breakfast tacos? And she's like...
Which, by the way, where's breakfast tacos in the Capital Region? Because I need one.
Breakfast tacos?
I mean, I could probably make it myself, but...
I don't know.
That seems like a good idea. I've seen breakfast burritos, but tacos,
Yeah.
I would get down
sounds
with that.
So, because here's the thing. He knows a lot about her.
Because of the voicemail.
Because of the voicemails. So even like, they're both from Texas. Or, well, he's in Texas. She's from Texas. And she's like, oh, the best spot.
Yeah.
I forgot what the place is called. But they're like, this is the best spot. She's like, oh my gosh, that's my favorite spot.
Right.
Because he knows.
Because he knows.
Because he knows. Because she says it. She says it.
You're giving me stalker vibes at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Creepy vibes because you basically have feelings for this girl listening just to her voicemails to her dead sister.
Yeah.
So they decide to spend 2 weeks getting to know San Francisco together because he's in the area for 2 weeks. So they decided they are going to explore the city together, and of course they're gonna like fall for each other within those 2 weeks, as they do.
And yeah, they do at the end, but he keeps saying to himself, he's like, I need to tell her about the voicemails. He needs to tell her. And when he finally does tell her, she is sleeping.
Wait,
do you remember that
part? When was
you
that
might
part?
have. They were like it was like on the couch. They were on the
yes.
And he goes, I've been getting your voicemails. And he looks over and she's sleeping.
So, okay, I have a question for you. Yeah. How would you feel if that happened to you?
I mean, I'd also feel betrayed.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, you never know until you're in that situation. But
right.
basically, the whole thing is like, what I saw coming was she's going to find out about the voicemails before he tells her.
Of course.
So what happens
you got mail.
So what happens is he goes back to Texas, and before he invites her to his friend's wedding.
Oh wait, before the friend's wedding though, I think this is where probably the moment it turned where they really, really like each other is because she makes dinner for him.
Oh, because yes. So he was saying that his mom has passed, and she was also a chef or a baker or something like that.
Something like that. They were talking about like what her signature dish was.
Dish would be.
And for Wes's mom, it was chicken pot pie with cornbread crust. Mm-hmm. So Jill goes and learns that dish and makes it for him on their last dinner together.
Yes.
So I think that's where
that's the part at the house that was like before he tells her, but she's sleeping.
Gotcha.
But yes, so like there's a connection there, right? Mm-hmm. Even if, some of it's kind of not fake, but that he knows already.
Right.
So before he leaves, invites her to his friend's wedding.
Yes, the friends that know about the voicemails.
The friends that know. And the friends that are like, you need to tell her.
Yes.
And then he's like, fine. He's like, I will tell her, before, I don't know if he says before the wedding or, after the wedding. He's like, I will tell her. And so back in Texas, goes to the wedding. She gets cold, gives him his jacket. She walks outside, calls her sister. What is in his pocket?
His work phone.
His work phone that is going off. And she pulls it off. She pulls it out and sees that it says Jill.
Yeah. So she finds out in that moment that he has been listening to all of her voicemails. Mm-hmm. I was like, typical. Like, of course, it's in the jacket pocket.
I knew it was. I just didn't know when it was happening. I was like, this is going to happen. She is going to find out before he tells her. Yeah. And he was like, I was going to tell you. And then she's upset.
Mad.
She's mad. She's upset. She leaves. She goes back to San Francisco. She does not want to talk to this man.
Never.
Nope. Does not want to talk to him. So, one of my other favorite scenes, she goes back to work, and they're doing the competition. I think it's shortly after, she goes back to San Francisco.
Yeah, so basically there's 3 of them that are trying to get this head baker or assistant baker to the baker position.
And the test is souffle. They have to make a souffle.
Yes.
And so, so it's Jill. I forgot the other person's name. And the other girl. And Lucas Gage's character.
Yes.
And Izzy's has an idea. So she actually doesn't really make a souffle. What does she make? She makes
a souffle, but she puts her own spin on it. She puts pistachio dust on it.
But it's also not in a souffle container.
No.
Yeah.
It was her own spin about it.
So
the 3 of them have a competition. Clearly, the other girl should have won because hers was to a T of what he was asking for. But Lucas Gage character
he gives
wins.
it to Lucas Gage's character.
And he gets that new job.
Yes. Izzy is like, oh, that's just great.
Right.
Right? Because she's like, because you only taste a little bit of hers, and she goes and slaps a souffle, and it's raw.
His entire thing is liquid. She just dumps it all out.
She dumps it out.
And she calls Nick Offerman fake.
Yep.
Because he is.
Mm-hmm. He's like, you were always going to give it to him no matter what.
Yeah.
So, and that's how she quits her job.
So she quits her job and she starts a whole new adventure.
Goes, who's with me? And
nobody. No one comes.
No one follows her. All right. We're going to take our second break here. We come back, talk about the end of the movie. Hello, welcome back to Couch Potatoes. Finishing up our talk here about voicemails for Isabelle. So,
on the Netflix.
The Netflix. She quits her job. And she kind of goes, her parents visit, or she goes and visits her parents, and they have like a heart-to-heart about, everything that's been going on and what to do. So two things happen during this part. The parents say, take Izzy's college fund money and do what you love. Do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And she decides she wants to open a food truck with her signature dish.
Which is dessert tacos.
It was originally dessert tacos. She was going through the tacos and it just wasn't working out. And then she had an idea to do dessert nachos instead.
That's what it was. Okay.
So she decides to do that. She buys a truck, fixes it up, tries to get it off the ground.
Right. Her first time around, parks it at, I think it was like the marina or something, which there wasn't a lot of traffic, not a lot of people to come by.
She gets her first customers, short circuits.
Yep. Not the whole truck, but a little part of it is on fire.
And then when that happens, the other girl who was also competing for baker or head baker walks in and she basically followed her out.
Yeah. And it's like, you asked who was with you.
I'm with you.
I love this part. I was like, oh, that's really, really sweet. I loved that.
Because another part of this also is like, you don't need a man to follow your dreams,
we
right?
don't need a man for anything.
Exactly. So the two of them decide to do this dessert nacho truck. She's like, we're going to this event. It's going to be great. Now, another thing to mention is during this as well, I mentioned that Jill listens to Izzy's voicemails that she left. She goes to listen to her voicemails. The voicemails have disappeared.
Yeah, so she looks at her phone. They're all
gone.
I lost my mom. I have a bunch of voicemails from my mom. I would lose my mind if I lost them. I have one where she left me on my birthday, and I listen to it every year.
Yeah.
And I will literally – the earth would go up in flames if I lost any of those. I totally get that. That's why this movie is such – I feel like it's just so good for anyone that's grieving or just missing someone in that aspect.
Yeah.
Totally get that. So she loses her mind when she when she sees all those voicemails are gone.
So at the same time, Nick is like not contacting her. No, not Nick. Wes. Sorry.
I was like, who's Nick?
The actor. Wes is like not. I know. There's so many names. Is not contacting her. He's talking to his friends, the ones that just got married, and he's like, and they're like, we follow her on social media. She's an angel. They're like, they love her
because they met her at the wedding.
They met her at the wedding. And they mentioned that her mom had lost the voicemails, and, Wes was still, had feelings for her, and they're like, you need to call her or something like that. So what he does is he
asked, like, the guy
this tech guy at his job. He's like, can you get these voicemails back? And the guy's like, probably not.
Right. Because he thinks he's doing something illegal for, like, whatever business that Wes seems to be some sort of real estate agent or something.
Yeah, he's a real estate agent,
and he was like, you have to get your leads a different way. And he was like, this is for a girl. And then all of a sudden he was like, okay, I will do this for you.
So then, again, they have the dessert nacho truck. They go to the event. It's super successful. It's great. Now it's New Year's Eve, I think. And on New Year's Eve, he calls her. She doesn't answer.
Right.
And he's like, hey, just wanted to say, I don't know if he's like, I miss you or wants to talk or something. He's like, I will be at, I don't know if you're in Texas. I will be at your favorite place.
Yeah, I think it's Jose's. Or maybe it's Josie's.
No, it might be Jose's.
Can't read my own handwriting.
But I'll be at Jose's.
For New Year's Eve.
She's at her parents', so she's in Texas.
Yes. And she's letting her parents listen to the voicemail.
Yes.
At that moment when he's leaving at UC.
Yeah. So I think he kind of decides maybe not to go, and they're like, you have 15 minutes, you should go.
Yeah.
And he goes there. He runs there.
Runs down the streets.
They're closed. He gets there, and they're basically closed.
Yeah.
And the guy's yelling at him. He's like, wait a minute. And he goes around the corner, and she's sitting there eating tacos.
I know. So sweet.
So sweet. And so they kind of,
They rekindle.
And the last scene, I don't know if it's during that last scene or when it is, or maybe it's before the date, she gets all of her voicemails back.
Yes, like in the midst of, I think it was maybe the last scene where they're at so they've realized.
Park?
Yeah, like the girl that left the same job as Jill tells her, you need to park in a better spot. We're going to go to some festival or something that was happening. So they go there where there's obviously a ton more people. The food truck now is taking off. People love her dessert tacos or nachos, whatever they were. And this is basically the end of the movie. So I think that's at the part where she just sees them all pop up. But it's very funny. So they both decide at this moment that they're going to call Izzy's phone again.
Yes.
And before they rekindled, he said to her, I paid for the work phone for another year. I'm never going to listen again.
Yeah. Well, he says, I got a new work phone number,
Yes.
but I paid for her line for a year if you still want to call her.
Yes.
So I think also the event in like the last scene, they're at like a park. So I think those are two different things. But anyway, the last scene, they're at a park. And again, nacho truck's doing great, dessert nacho truck. And yeah, at that point, he's like, I'm going to ask her to move in with me.
Yeah.
But he calls the sister to leave a voicemail to be like, basically kind of like permission. Or he's like, hey,
Can you show me a sign?
Yes, can you show me a
This
sign?
is like what I should be doing.
Izzy calls her at the same, or Jill calls her at the same time.
Yep.
And she said, this is going to be my last voicemail.
Yep. She's probably feeling better now.
Yes.
With everything.
And then what comes on?
Dancing on My Own by Robin.
Dancing on My Own by Robin. So she's in the middle of this park and she's like, oh my gosh, her song is on. And she does the dance.
Yep.
And I'm crying. And then Wes is like, I'm going to also do the dance.
Kind of.
And he's like, I'm going to try.
Yeah.
And then he comes up and I'm just like crying.
I think I was getting teary-eyed.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was full-on crying.
Yeah.
But I was definitely a little teary-eyed.
Very emotional. So that's the whole rundown
of the movie.
You should watch it. I mean, there's definitely parts, we didn't tell you plot by plot point, right?
Right.
But
I give it like an 8 out of 10.
yeah, I think I'm somewhere around there too. Because again, it was predictable.
Yeah.
But it was still really good.
A little Hallmarky.
Yes.
But I think it was really, really good. Definitely recommend it.
Yes.
Watch it with your sister, your best friend, your mom, whoever you want. I think that it's such a good movie. Like I said, if you're grieving, you've lost someone, or just like in a dating slump and kind of over it, I think this is like a good movie to turn your attitude around.
Yeah. It just encompasses all these different themes, and it's great.
Yeah, for sure.
So that'll do it for another episode of Couch Potatoes here. Thanks for hanging out with us today. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.